Hi everybody, my name is Mason, also known as Way, and I am from High Ground TV. And today I am bringing you an interview with Baseskip. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great and just enjoying the matches and yeah, not much else to say.
So we just saw IG get knocked out of the tournament by LGD. Earlier this morning, Navi got kicked out, and Alliance got booted out of the group stages. What are we seeing this TI with all these champions being knocked out so early?
I think so much of it is just, and I've said this before, I think the level of Dota at the moment has improved across the board and all of these teams are so close. So when it comes down to just a single best of three with elimination on the line like we just had, then an individual drafts can take it. There's not enough of a gap between any two teams where I think you can reliably say, oh, they have an 80% chance to take a full best of three. Maybe game by game, one team is 60-40, something like that, but yeah, I think it's just that the level of Dota has improved so much, really.
So what were your predictions coming into the day? Did you think that C9 would take it? Did you think that LGD could take it?
I think C9 were the favorites coming in. Navi have looked shaky. Really, they looked shaky over the course of the group stage. Sometimes it can be difficult to know what exactly C9 are going to do, and sometimes their drafts can fall apart a little bit, but they looked solid, and I think, I expected them to take it over Navi. LGD IG, I think IG, as everybody was saying, definitely came in as the favorites here, but LGD pulled it out. I mean, they're very familiar with IG as a team, and they're playing a slightly different style as well from what a lot of the other Chinese teams are playing right now, and I think that maybe caught IG off guard a little bit. Maybe I'm not going to say that they didn't prepare adequately, but maybe they had their sights set a little bit further. I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go back in time a little bit. You were an attendee at the last TI, and now you're here. You're on the big stage, man. You came to cast the group stages. You got invited by Valve. How does that feel to go from somebody just sort of coming and watching and soaking it all up to being invited to come and do this?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. I was doing amateur casting, little bits and pieces here and there around the time of the last TI, and then to be invited for the group stages was just absolutely amazing. It's been a ridiculous. It's been an amazing event, and I don't know. I was over the moon really to be invited. It still maybe even now hasn't completely sunk in. I don't know.
Did you have one of those moments where you just felt, maybe you walked in, you flew into Bellevue and somebody picked you up in a limo or something like that? Did you have one of those moments of like, I made it?
Yeah, I think it was definitely just arriving in Seattle, like you said, and getting driven over to Bellevue. It was 5 stars all the way, really. The way that Valve has treated everybody that's been involved has been amazing. And yeah, just walking in, seeing everybody, saying hello, and just kind of realizing, okay, look, I did it. This was the dream at the outset, and sort of accomplished it.
So they've got you guys all at the Westin this year, up in the fancy digs. So what's it like to just sort of like walk through the lobby, go to breakfast every morning with all these professional players and casters and personalities just within arm's reach, really?
Yeah, it's really surreal. Everyone is absolutely amazing. I think the one thing that's the one thing that's really struck me, just how personable everybody is, how willing everybody is just to have a casual conversation. I think that's really been great. The workshop people as well. I think everybody involved in Dota at the moment is fantastic to interact with, and with the players, I think especially, it can be a little bit easy for the community and as someone that's spectating to maybe put them up on a little bit of a pedestal and think that they're not easy to approach, but all of them are really fantastic and easy to talk to.
Have you pubbed with any of the pros yet in the command room they've got going on down there?
No, I haven't really got any pubs in. It's always been packed, and I've been trying to get a little bit more sleep and play a little bit less Dota, but I'm definitely keen to get some games in, or maybe just have to wait until I get back home. We'll have to see.
A little bit more sleep is definitely something that I think we all could use. So level with me. Do you miss Benaroya?
It's definitely different being here. I'm very, very glad, and I've said this to a few people, that I'm very glad that I got the opportunity to go and watch TI at Benaroya, but I think we've kind of outgrown it. I mean, it's a much more intimate atmosphere. There's just less people, but I think this is the direction that we need to be moving in for the international. And honestly, I think a lot of people were being very doom and gloom about moving away from Benaroya and losing that environment and that atmosphere. But I think this has been fantastic, and it's even higher energy with this many people here at Key Arena. So I think it's fine. I'm enjoying it both.
And just the sheer amount of fans has been incredible. I mean, you looked at the stadium during the C9 Navi game, and it was filled to the brim.
It was absolutely packed all the way to the rafters. I mean, even with people lining up for the secret shop and everything else, it was the roar of the crowd is just incredible.
So, aside from the amazing games that we have had, what's been your favorite, facility here so far? Has it been the workshop stuff? Has it been the secret shop, the floor area, maybe some super secret production people places?
I really love the new workshop area this year. I think having a lot of the workshop contributors involved in giving presentations and showing what exactly they do, I think that's amazing. I think that's a really nice way to expand on how things were at Benaroya. They didn't really have quite as much space to do things, and this is definitely more structured, and it seems like it's getting a lot more people involved. There seems to be a nice crowd around the workshop area at all times, so that's been great. And I've also enjoyed just peeking backstage a little bit as well. I went and checked out where K-pop and everybody are doing stats, and WebS and Scriff are observing, and to me that's really interesting as well to see everything that's going on behind the scenes to make an event like this run, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't really see, and it's something that really interests me, honestly.
All the stuff behind the black curtain that the average person doesn't really get to see. So let's get into some predictions. We've got the start of two more best of threes coming up. The first one being between Cloud9 and Vici Gaming. Who do you think is going to take that?
Ooh, it's so tough. I mean, we haven't really seen too much of Vici aside from that obvious upper bracket best of three, where I don't really think we got to see much of them. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with Vici Gaming, but with not a lot of confidence. Maybe a 2-1 at the very best. I think Cloud9 are definitely a contender.
Now we've also got a matchup from the East, LGD Gaming and Team DK, which arguably is probably some people's best predictions for the strongest team in the East. I mean, maybe Newbie proved them wrong, but there's still a lot of DK fans in the house. Who do you think is going to take that one?
I think I have to stick with DK. I'm a little bit of a DK fanboy, so I think that factors in as well, and I'll definitely admit to that. But if so long as they can find their form, I think they've proven over the course of the year that they're an extremely strong, very adaptable team. I mean, maybe LGD can take an upset, but I think both teams are very familiar with one another, and I think DK will have just been watching what happened to IG and probably won't repeat the same mistakes.
Have you gotten to meet any of the DK players? Gotten to fanboy at all?
No, the DK players are really elusive. They've been kept under wraps by their manager. They haven't done any autographs or anything just yet, so I haven't really got to interact with them. But hopefully,
something to hope for the next few days, maybe. All right, well, Basekip, thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Mason, also known as Way. This is Basekip. Please follow both of us on Twitter, me at WayDota, him at Basekip. Do you have any shout-outs before we go?
Just another shout-out to all the workshop contributors. They've been great. I guess Anuxi, Bronto, Don. And yeah, I just encourage everybody to go and check it out if you're here at the event.
All right, thanks again. High Ground TV, signing off.